The following is brought to you by a generous donation from Canoe Place Inn and Cottages, fine hospitality in Hampton Bays since 1697. More at canoeplace.com.
Yeah, raise a glass of times right down here at LTV.
If you've resolved not to listen or see us in the new year, you've already broken that resolution. This is AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill. I am the Bill part.
And I am, I think, the Bridget part.
The big unpaid Bill part.
I want to be Bill in the new
no,
year.
you don't. No, you really don't. And it is the new year, and we have a very special guest at the end of the show. I'm dressed in purple. If you're listening to this on WLIW NPR, we have
Oprah is going to be on the show.
Because the show is all about what's new. Obviously, the default show title for anything in January is, you have resolutions. What are you going to do? We're talking about starting over, and Oprah is not starting over, but she does have a new version of The Color Purple that came out on Christmas Day, and this month will begin streaming somewhere. And so we had a chance through a little roundtable that I do to ask her a question about the new year and also about Steven Spielberg and the original Color Purple. So at the end of the show...
Speaking of The Color Purple, you're very purple. You're like
Yes.
Barney the dinosaur purple.
Yes, thank you.
Can you sing I love you?
No,
Okay.
not with any
All right.
believability, obviously.
We're
And
going to talk about some New Year's resolutions.
starting over and New Year's resolutions,
Okay.
but who's on the show today?
Well, we have Michael Kilcoyne, who's a filmmaker and has this amazing new podcast called How to Life, which we all need to know in the new year. And we have
Some
Sharon.
assembly required in life.
Yeah,
So
well,
this is the
unfortunately,
how-to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we have Sharon Daffner Bakes of Sag Harbor, who has a company called Healing in the Hamptons. She does all kinds of really cool stuff, helps people kind of get in touch with their inner self and catapult them to the next level. So we're really looking forward to having her on the show. But first,
When we were kids, our parents always said, "Are you writing checks from last year, this
parents
year?"
never said that.
Well, many parents
my
did.
parents said, post-date your checks and pass them and then run away. No, okay. They didn't. Go ahead.
I'm not talking about divorce payments. I'm not talking about childcare. This is. I'm asking this because do you write any checks anymore?
God, no. My kids don't even, like my younger doesn't even know what a check is, I don't think. I mean,
Yeah.
he's seen them. They're like it's like an old rotary telephone. It's like a jalopy. It's something from the way back.
So we got to retire that. We got to say there's no more saying you're writing this year's or last year's.
No, you're sending last
blah,
year's
blah, blah.
Venmo or something like that.
Right.
That's
So New
last
Year's
Venmo.
resolutions, here are the
Yes.
top ones, and then the number one won't
Okay.
surprise you at all. 48% of the people want to improve fitness.
Improve fitness.
Yeah,
you mean work out
somehow,
more
some-
often
yeah,
or start
yeah.
running or something.
It's all foreign to me.
That's funny.
Improve finances is 38%, but right below that, improve mental health at
Really?
36%. That's how.
36% people want to improve their mental health.
And below that is lose weight and improve the diet. I don't know how that's. Well, I guess that's tied into improve
Well, if
fitness.
were true, then we'd have a whole generation of really healthy, rich, mentally well.
But we don't because.
Research suggests that only 9% of Americans that make resolutions complete them.
Right.
I think that sounds high to me. 23% of people quit the resolutions by the end of the first week. That's me. 43% quit by the end of January. So almost 50% are done like they do it for a month.
Right.
But they say that a month is like enough to change your habits. I bet that's something that Sharon Daffner Bakes will be able to speak to.
Right. And you don't drink. You've talked about that a lot. I take
25
January.
years.
I'm a dryuary guy.
Yeah. And there's also, what is it, October? There's like all these different months now. So if you string them all together, you're sober.
Everything needs a media term. Everything needs an acronym. So what they say to help you keep a New Year's resolution, and then I promise we'll get off this tired topic. Although you probably have a resolution. I don't believe in them, but we'll ask you, and we'll ask all our guests if they have a
Well,
resolution.
you told me to have one.
I know.
You sent me an email. You said have a resolution. Normally I wouldn't, but now you're going to hang me out to dry, Bill.
Coming off the ledge. All right, so here's how they say you can actually keep them. Coming off the ledge is my new 2024 for calm down.
Okay, good.
There you go.
Calm down, sir. He says calm down to
There's an
people.
acronym-based goal known as SMART goals, SMART, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. So they say if you do it the smart way, you're more likely to hold on to or fulfill those resolutions.
I'm not going to remember that.
Just be smart. Yeah, you won't remember that
Right.
either way.
No, I won't. But I want to know, Jim Turner, our one-man band over there, do you have a New Year's resolution, or have you ever stuck to one? Tell me.
You know, I'm afraid I'm resolving every day. I have resolutions, and so I don't want to mess this thing up. I will tell you what I'm going to be resolving to do is to totally rearrange my sock drawer.
And he has a song about it.
I bet
No,
he
he
does.
doesn't.
Well, he could write one right now on the spot. I think that's a very good, and that's an achievable, that's a specific, measurable,
It's pretty
achievable,
complicated.
realistic, and time-bound goal. Good for you.
it's-
You're smart, Jim.
It's very complex. I'll spare you the details.
And we have never said that before. You are smart.
You are smart, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
We love you.
No, we're smart to have Jim Turner, and happy 2024 to you. Happy 2024 also to Patrick McLaughlin, who is one of our regulars on the show.
Oh, thanks
Hi.
for,
One
of
thanks
the-
for bringing me in.
Your regular regular. Thanks for bringing-
HamptonsChatter.net.
Oh my God.
Is
I was
that
falling
right?
asleep. What?
Tough room.
HamptonsChatter.net.
Hamptons.
HamptonsChatter.net or com. I think both work. I think they both
Okay.
work. I have to call my tech person. So can we talk about can I tell you my New Year's resolution?
Yes, please.
Improve fitness. Okay, that's an easy one. And
30
these-
You and 48%.
Well, when I go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, I will actually go get my own plate and not have someone else get it for me.
Oh,
There you go. That's a good
That's a small, achievable, smart goal.
Improve
You're
mental
killing it with
health.
Turner.
Improve mental health. I'm going to up my Zoloft.
There you go.
Improve my diet.
Lose weight.
Lose weight. I'll try. Yeah.
Well, that was the epidemic. I don't know. That was the epidemic of 2023, that everyone was on Ozempic. Everyone, I look at Kelly Clarkson at the lighting of the
she's
Christmas
skinny now,
tree
too?
last month. Everybody's skinny. And you know who's pissed off about it? Howard Stern. Howard Stern talks almost every day about how he does it the old-fashioned way, and he's pissed that there's a drug now that people are taking.
I've taken Ozempic. I took it for a few months because you all know I have lost 85 pounds or so from having the surgery.
Right.
I had the surgery like 5 years ago, and I lost. This is not who I was. For 55 years of my life, I was very overweight. But
We love you anyway.
I know, and I love me anyway too. But the point was, I started to gain again, and I have no more backup possibilities. So I did the Ozempic for a few months. It got me down.
Ran out of
Why not?
self-control.
It got me down, and
Yeah,
I'm
but
fine now.
what about so what we're
Thank
learning in
God.
2024 is that there were a lot of side effects to that stuff, and that
Oh,
I'll tell you my problem with it. And I don't mean to get off on a high
that's
horse here.
fine.
I could lose 20 pounds this month. It'd be great.
Just 20?
But okay, thank you.
Ah, Patrick
The
Byrne.
jokes. Anyway,
That'll be a first.
I thought maybe this drug actually influenced your something internal besides making you not want to eat all the time.
Oh, it might.
And I think that should be our jobs. I think that's what we should learn how to do, even if you use a Noom or any of these other apps that you can do.
The apps work. The apps work. Calorie counting works.
Yeah, it
There's
does.
no doubt about it. Calorie counting works. During COVID, I've lost a lot of weight during COVID, and literally it was just I was counting
You
calories.
Well, you were
have
I
to-
put on the COVID-19. I mean, that's what I
lost weight
called
during
it.
COVID.
But yeah, that you're the one person on the
Well,
planet.
I had the Peloton, and we had the whole gym in my basement, which is
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, which was nice.
Yeah,
Do you
I
have
didn't
one
that.
person on Peloton that you follow? Do you
I like the
only-
Brits because they play better music. Like if you're a child of the '80s, like I am,
So you don't have one person?
I have like 2 or 3.
Because I know people who have Peloton and they are devoted to and talk ad nauseum about Jan or
Cody. Everyone talks about Cody. He
Oh,
gets
really?
I
but-
know absolutely. Like what you're talking about is like completely foreign to me.
I like
no
seriously.
idea
The
what you're
Brits
talking
always
about.
play like Duran Duran and
I like
stuff I
that.
like an English beat and like stuff that I like.
love
you know,
that.
it's like fun stuff.
I don't know about that
for
company in
later.
2024. I'm not saying that it's in trouble. I know that it was huge during COVID, like many things like that had us at home. But I did note over the holidays that for the first time, Pelotons went on sale.
You can buy them on, and by the way, I'm a big advocate of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Oh my God, best stuff ever. I sold a house to someone and they furnished their and like.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were going to say you sold a house on Facebook
No.
Marketplace.
I saw the house and it was like a $4 million house, and the wife is a full-time job on Facebook Marketplace furnishing her house.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like she gets amazing stuff, and like she, does the Google Lens where she can look up how much it retails for, and then she goes in and buys it.
So
Yeah.
that's your resolution? You're doing more with Facebook?
I'm going to save more money. In fact,
Marketplace?
I'm not going to get you guys Levon muffins every time I come on the show anymore. That's
Damn.
improving my finances.
Okay, and
I
and
tell
our waistline.
anybody, whatever you see in any store anywhere, just go home. It's on eBay. I don't care if it just came out yesterday and
Or
you're on
Facebook
Madison
Marketplace
Avenue,
or Craigslist,
Brunello, Coachella, any
Brunello Cucinelli.
any of or inexpensive.
Do you want a good
It's
laugh?
half price on eBay.
Go into Brunello Cucinelli and ask them about the details about their store at Tanger. They love that.
Oh, I bet. Well, do you want to know my resolution?
expensive,
Because
yeah.
you asked me, and then you dropped it.
Yeah, I think that was the
Resolution
way to go.
or
Anyway,
your
no, what
week one to-do list for the first week of
What-
No,
January.
I
What's the
just-
Bridget? Give me,
I have these two amazing books that I go Christmas shopping, and I always end up buying more stuff for myself. So these are leftovers. I have this book called Nobody Wants Your The Art of Decluttering Before You Die, because I want to do
I
that.
hope I have a couple years
And,
left
well,
before I
my-
have to declutter.
Well, this book is called "I'm Dead Now What," and it's important information.
What a great selection
what an
for the new
upbeat!
year.
What a
Well, let me
yeah!
tell
What
you-
a
well,
happy
because
upbeat!
I'm going to up my Zoloft even more.
My resolution is to get my affairs in order. I think it's a responsible thing to do. I've now had 2 or 3 parents, since I have step-parents, pass and die, and grandparents, and I have all of their SH asterisk
So
T
people
in
listening
my
who don't
basement,
know,
and
you are
it's all over the
a
place.
youngish woman.
I'm
You're
60.
Have you hit 60?
Yeah, I'm 60.
But you know what?
That's why I did this
Good.
ridiculous stuff to my hair, which
You know
is
what,
bright
truth be
red.
told?
What?
Especially
I
in
had
real
to
estate,
chill.
because I work in real estate. I don't know if you knew that. But
it's
wills
come
are,
up.
like, make sure you have your affairs in order.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Especially,
saying.
Like, so totally
I
true.
don't.
I had a problem once where a guy, they were selling their house and the wife died in the middle of the transaction.
Yeah.
That was, and there was,
horrible.
they didn't have a will. And even though it's a marriage, and
Yeah.
you would think it would be seamless and move quite quickly, it really held things up.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, and
put your
it's
affairs in order.
because of COVID, that the numbers haven't gone up yet with the courts and everything. Things are so drawn out. Like probate can take years now.
Please
so,
put me in
yeah.
your wills, everybody.
So, Patrick,
And
in,
vice versa.
in the first month of 2024, everyone who listens to this podcast knows that you are the expert, the guru about East End, Long Island in terms of real estate. What do you think is going to happen? Are we going to have a little dip, perhaps, in the mortgage rates? And
Well, they're already coming down.
are they?
A little bit, yeah. We're now back. Actually, they're the lowest now that they've been since like September, August. So, and the Fed has already said they're not going to raise rates again. So, and
But they're in the sevens now,
The
aren't
real
they?
guru for mortgages is Melissa Cohn, who we all know.
Right.
But and she thinks they're going to come back down in the spring. So.
And what's the inventory like? Like
Inventory is-
rentals?
you know what?
Oh, I want to hear about your rental thing.
thing.
but
I
just
will
remembered
tell you,
that.
inventory out here, you got to remember, I always say the Hamptons has phantom inventory, where there's such a glut of brokers out here, like everybody in the world. Oh, I just got my real estate license, which I love.
Yeah, right.
Hey, good for you. Anyway, but
Bob Hope had a great line about New Young Comics. He goes, I wish I knew where they were all coming from because I'd go there and make sure no more ever came.
but the funny thing is that they put things on the market with these absurd numbers and they don't sell.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not real inventory. You know, someone will go up to knock on your door, Bridget, and say, "I'll get you $5 million for your house," and you'll go,
Right.
"Go do it." Sure.
Yeah, right,
And then,
right.
But people do it. So it's a lot of there's the real sellers are not quite as many as you would think, given the amount of sale signs you see in the Hamptons.
And what we'll hold you to, because we love to do that on this show, is it going to be a buyer's or a seller's market in the next season, season?
I think it's going to be a buyer's market. It's going to continue to be a buyer's market. It is now.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
really do believe that.
But you're doing something about rentals, aren't you? Right here
yeah,
at LTV.
but you know what? I will tell
Yeah.
you, because it is a buyer's market, real fast before we go to
Yeah,
rentals. A lot of sellers now, because if interest rates are so high, for the first time in years, I'm hearing about sellers willing to hold paper, meaning they'll hold a mortgage for a home buyer, because most of them have low interest rates, so it's no skin off their back. to hold
That's
the
really
paper.
interesting because that's something you
Or
find
paying points down.
on foreign transactions, like in Costa Rica, for example, where they'll hold paper because you can't get a Costa Rican mortgage if you're from the States.
Right.
I mean, you probably can, but I wasn't going to do that kind of research. But there are owners who will.
She's got
'cause I'm
other
me.
things to do.
I'm being honest. That's one of my New Year's resolutions. I'm going to be honest this year.
Right.
So I'm too lazy to look into something like that. But there you go. I mean,
Finances is the second
improve
most
finances. No, I think this is
popular
improving my
resolution
mental
of
health.
2020.
But I'm hearing about this more and more. And
Yeah.
I like, and I've been doing this for almost 20 years. This I have not it's I don't want to say it's new. They did it before when the market was really sluggish in '08, but this is the first time I'm hearing about this in a long time.
Interesting.
So you have a television special coming up on
special.
LTV.
A TV special.
It's about this Christmas tree, and my friends and I, we go out, we find the scraggliest Christmas tree. No, oh wait,
It's a Hallmark. It's a Hallmark
For
thing.
January.
Right.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But you're so tell us about what is it? It's a rental.
We're talking rentals here at LTV on January 11th. We're going to host a forum with a few attorneys, some inspectors, some insurance people. The rental market is a big source of income for the Hamptons.
Oh, yeah, for people here, sure.
Listen, some people they pay the big nut of their mortgage by renting their house out for the summer.
Sure.
But there's been this whole new wave of regulations from all the towns, rental registries and things like that have made it the process.
Airbnb's been shut
Well, listen,
out.
they're trying to shut down the Airbnbs.
Right.
It's a whole mishigas of stuff,
I love it when you
Aren't
say
you loving
Michigan.
I'm saying But the bottom line is
He's
we're
our
going to
sitting
help
Jew.
people decipher all the rules, and they vary from town to town. I mean, what's required in Southampton isn't required in East Hampton Village or Sag Harbor Village.
Right.
And villages take precedent over the town.
Right.
So if you live in East Hampton Town but in Sag Harbor Village, you have to worry about Sag Harbor Village and not so much East Hampton Town.
Oh, well,
Make
you're going
sense?
to well,
It's
but you'll
crazy.
you'll make
East Hampton
it make
requires topsiders and a
And
Fair Isle
Sag
sweater.
Harbor, you need the tweed jacket with the patches on the.
It's contractual.
But so we're going to help people decipher that. Plus, there's a big liability. There's things like squatters, insurance things. I mean,
yeah.
Most tenants are required to get insurance, and a lot of people don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you rent out, if you better make sure you notify your insurance company
Mm-hmm.
that you're renting your house out.
If Oprah called you
Ofra.
and
Okra.
said,
Okra.
I'm looking for a house out here, what would you show her?
I would show her the McCuddy residence. in
Oh no, you would
Bridgehampton.
not. It can't be that grand.
Oprah.
I've never seen
She'll
his
have her
house.
own maid's quarters for her
The
people.
Taj McCuddy? You've never seen it?
No, I've
What's
never
the
seen.
most? There's something that just, if it's still on the market, is like $150 million.
Oh, in
and is
Southampton,
on-
yeah.
Is
It's
on the
Meadow,
ocean.
It's on Meadow Lane, if I remember the right property.
Goodness.
But it's not listed with me, so let's not talk about that.
No, that's right. Let's only
I
talk
don't
about
have the
Patrick.
listing.
All right,
100% talking about Patrick. Yeah.
Let's talk
well,
about this lovely house on Hamilton Street in Sag Harbor for $3.2 million. Just kidding.
Well, Patrick, it's always a pleasure. So the only resolution you have is your fitness, and you've got your Peloton, you got everything going on, and you're going to save money by not bringing us cookies. Thank you, my friend. So grateful.
But check out. I'll put the details on the about the rental seminar on hamptonschatter.com.
Okay.
Or hamptonschatter.net.
Yes, that's wonderful.
And by the way, I love that Bill says, "Come in off the ledge."
Rather than calm down.
Now I'm
It
saying,
made my blood boil when I used to work with Bill.
He
He'd
has
be like,
said it to me.
oh, I
over
wish
and
we
over
had
and
time
over.
for these stories.
Come in off the ledge.
Jim, play us a little music.
Thank you, Patrick.
As they say in France, bon fromage, guys.
Bon fromage.
Thanks, Patrick. You're listening to what happens when PBS and NPR have too much time on their hands. It's AirHamptons with Bridget and Bill. It's like a Sunday brunch with crashers. Pass the bagels. And we need more mimosas. No, we can't have mimosas. It's Dryuary.
Well, yeah, Dryuary.
Who joins us next?
Well, we have Jim playing us on.
Thank you, Jim. And
Thank you.
we're making a lot of noise in the green room, and that's no good. But tell us who we have.
We have Sharon Daffner Bakes from Healing in the Hamptons. I've been to some of her wonderful circles and things like that, and she is going to talk to us about starting over in the
I
new
need
year.
healing. Yeah,
You do.
welcome.
You need all kinds of healing, not just sexual.
Now I see you brought, for those listening can't see this, you brought a crystal. Do you believe in the power of?
Excuse me, I
things?
also brought a crystal.
Oh, really?
Your crystal. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, hi.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me on.
My
Thank you
pleasure,
so
our
much for
pleasure.
having me on.
Yeah.
No, we heard you.
We just want to
making
make sure that you're
everyone else
close
did.
enough to the.
Thank you.
So yeah, tell us a little about healing in the Hamptons.
Yeah, sure. So
We need healing out here.
Sure do.
You must be working
whole world
24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. You know what's different about doing what I'm doing now? I transformed my whole life over 10 years ago. And
Yeah, tell us what.
Yeah,
maybe
what was
go
the
back.
inciting incident there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
what-
had cervical fusion on my neck. And before I had that operation with a fantastic surgeon, I was receiving energy healing from a local practitioner. And things just became so painful that I knew I had to do the surgery.
Were
And
you
I-
in an accident, or was this
It was
prompted
actually
by
skiing,
something? Or
just
it
a
was...
ski accident.
Wow.
And all this degeneration. in my neck. It
Yeah.
caused a lot of pain and just, neuropathy in my hands.
Wow.
And it really was the gift. What I found out when I went to the school, Barbara Brennan School of Healing Science, was our wounds are our gifts.
Right.
They're our gifts to heal. And sometimes it's quite literally. This was my gift. I got out of jail. It was like that get out of jail free card from
Right.
corporate America.
That's
because
amazing.
my soul was literally like crying. So I basically had a chance to just convalesce. And I finally got some guidance. I mean, I was somebody who was just really wound up, type A, push
Doing what
mode.
professionally before all this?
I was doing like corporate benefits, employee benefits. So I was in New York City, and I was just working with people in finance and HR, and I loved it. It was great because I love people. I love connecting with people, feeling people, and really helping. So this is service. But then I knew I was out of alignment. I'm going to use this kind of thing because this is called hara.
She's pointing at her face
Yeah.
and
Right.
her body.
So this is
one
an
hand is up and
intention,
one hand is
and
down.
I was split. And I felt that in my body, but I didn't know any of it. I was just like your average type A woman in push.
Yeah.
And I had gotten married.
Reduced to type A minus, maybe. You weren't your 100%.
Yeah. And that I really unraveled a lot of that personality. Didn't serve me, Bill.
But can I ask you something, Sharon? Which is, so you go through this healing, you go through the surgery as well. What made you want to kind of turn it and share the light with other people? And did you discover that you had a talent for this? I mean, how did you?
Yeah. So through this transformation of like really uncovering who am I, that uncovering comes from really the blocks that existed within me, like energy blocks that kept me from knowing who I truly was and living from my higher gifts. And it's a process, and that's what energy healing does. It actually helps us move the blocks that we've had for generations and for the decades of our lives.
I want to just touch on something because I was thinking of this actually, of talking to you about this morning. Do you believe, I believe, that everyone has the ability to become their own healer?
Yes.
Everybody can learn these tools. There's not like some guru on a mountain who's got it and you don't. We all have
That's
this
such a
ability.
great question.
Right?
We
I
did.
didn't put a question mark at the end, but that's a question. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what I learned because I didn't come into this world with I see people and I have my great aunt, Gertie, and walking around telling me things. But there was a deep inner knowing that I was really missing something big in my life, and that was me. So I just kept on following. Like what I learned was guidance and an inner knowing. And yeah, this is developed skill. As Barbara says, we all have this gift to heal. Healing comes from within.
So it was a
Yeah.
happy accident or out of something bad that
Yes.
something good came for you.
Absolutely.
A happy ski accident.
Yeah, I was in Aspen going down that fast mountain, Ajax Mountain. I had no business in spring skiing, and then my skis just stopped, and the rest of me
geez.
kept on going.
Oh, my goodness.
Ended up in Vale. No.
Yeah, I ended
pretty
up
far.
in Vail.
Did you ski again ever? Have you skied?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Good.
So the injury didn't stop me because I didn't even know I had it. And it just
Wow.
accumulates. So it's like stenosis.
Acupuncture believes in this whole thing about energy
Meridians,
being
yeah.
blocked and how your left side of your body can be out of phase with your right side.
Right.
So
And the left side is the feminine side
Feminine.
of receiving.
Right.
So-
and then
And
masculine.
the
is
masculine is
giving.
action, doing. And a lot of women, we've been in
explains a
push,
lot.
our whole lives. And it's coming into kind of the balance of receiving too.
So what do you do with healing in the Hamptons? I mean,
So my love is to teach.
Right.
I love teaching workshops, classes. I've done a lot on Zoom because of COVID.
Yeah.
And it's really opened me up, and I love doing one-on-one work. So I have classes and I have workshops, and I'm actually offering a journey in the coming year for women who are breaking open to their higher gifts. I don't know if you probably have a lot of friends who are like, I just feel something is
do you
coming
see
in.
any higher gift in Bridget? Do you have any feeling for anything going on in there?
Oh, yes. You live from your core essence.
try when I have some.
Do. And it's palpable. And when you walk into a room and you feel the warmth and their open heart, but it's this essence. This is your light within, And actually, this is truly how we start to transform our lives, is learning how we can just live more from more authentic. And I'm pointing here because your light lives deep within, and it may be what we call shrouded from past life experiences. And with energy healing, it truly is training to become really embodied.
I try to shroud her as much as I can. But
Yeah, well, I was going to say, well, what
she
about this
punches
guy? What
through.
about Bill?
Well,
I mean,
first of
I have a
all-
wide open heart,
No,
and,
let me-
and I come from my core essence.
Okay.
Tell me about
Dude,
McCuddy.
your
I'm
higher
going in.
gifts
I'm
are
going in next
your
week to
fifth
get a heart.
chakra.
But I don't remember before you analyzed me. I was in advertising for a long time, so I have no backbone.
No backbone.
It's
Well,
gone.
we can fix that right up.
With a little bit
You'll
of
find
energy
one?
healing.
And you
With a
talked about
microscope.
intentions for
Yes,
the new year.
yeah.
And there's something that I learned, and I love to teach this.
I like the word
anywhere.
intention much better than resolution.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it has tension in it.
It
Well,
does.
we're going to get rid of that
Okay.
tension. But it's about learning how to become really embodied and grounded. Now, I'm someone who lives with some level of like what I would call anxiety, and I had a hard time grounding into my life. I didn't even know that though until I changed my life. But it's about taking the fingers, bringing them down below your navel, and feeling deeply into this point of power called the Tantian.
Right, Tantian.
A
It's
martial
Tai
arts,
Chi, yeah.
yes, and bringing alignment through intention into a very peaceful dimension. And this is how we can live our lives, and that can include losing weight.
Yeah.
It can include anything.
Or dealing with past trauma, anything that's going to clear your channels,
To
right?
be here in the present moment.
Yeah.
I noticed throughout this whole conversation that your body language is about core. For
Yes.
people who are listening to this rather than watching it, you are constantly referencing
Yes.
the midpoint of your body. And is that the source of all of our energy?
Oy vey, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
so I have a
that's-
lot of energy. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
do. And, you know, again, higher qualities, creativity, sixth chakra, your voice, clearly your communications is what I see in you. And
Yeah.
Thank you.
Same thing for you, Bridget. But, so I'm offering a women's journey. Actually, it will be starting very soon. So I invite anyone who's still interested and wants to learn more.
What's
to
your
my
website?
It's healinginthehamptons.com. So,
Right.
of course, www.
Yeah.
And just how it sounds, healinginthehamptons.com. And there's so many of us breaking open to our higher gifts, the people who never thought in a million years that they had higher gifts. But now something's coming in. It could be vision, it could be hearing, it could be just direct knowing. And we want to know, how can I really play it forward in my life and live from my gifts? That's what each of us is here to fulfill
Would
our
gifts
true
are
purpose.
gifts different than passions? Could we know our passion but not have any idea what our gift is, or the other way around?
I think by
Good
gift
question.
you're referring more to, and I don't want to say like psychic, but you mean the gifts that intuition, like
Exactly.
intuitive gifts.
Yes.
So, and that we all have the ability to tap into all of those things. I mean,
Exactly.
that's what our
Except
dreams
I
are.
didn't see that until you explained it. So
Oh, there you
apparently
go.
I'm bad.
Well, you're just very old
Well,
fashioned.
thank you very
you're
much.
you're so
Absolutely.
2023, Bill.
And that's what fulfillment is, when we live for those gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Well,
Pleasure,
but you know, you can't
joy.
have it all the time. I mean, you can have it all the time if you're in a profession like yours, but you know, life comes
Oh.
in. And we're going to talk with Mike Kilcoyne about how to life. But
Exactly.
you know, I mean, I have days and days, and you know, I'm trained in shamanism and all this stuff, and I have days where I do not call upon my gifts. I am just, you know, looking straight ahead. I'm on a path, and you know,
and so do I too.
yeah.
You don't know the
same
martial
exact
arts stuff
thing.
she's talking about,
I
do you?
do. I'm a Tai Chi instructor. God, you don't know
I gotta
me
be
at
much.
all.
I gotta be much
Yeah,
nicer
you know,
to you.
it's all beautiful. Everything accumulates into where we are now, and we get there on divine timing. So just trusting wherever you are, you know, and
He's scared of us because we both know Tai Chi, and he should be.
It's so powerful.
Okay, whatever you guys want.
Well, thank you. And so I'm going to just wave my magic
show us what you've got.
pendulum and tell you that you're beautifully aligned. Your
that's a nice one.
energies clockwise.
Wow,
look at you.
that.
I'm putting you into a trance, aren't I?
Kind of.
Yeah.
No, but this is your.
So there's
this
a
is your
crystal
field.
going clockwise right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and this
Beautiful.
beautiful rose quartz crystal.
Yeah.
And then, and that's amethyst. You've got a beautiful amethyst.
Yeah. So just like I just brought this
amethyst
here
heart.
to
It's
support
the shape
me,
of a heart
to
for those
support
of you who are listening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crystal heart.
Yeah.
is.
It's
It is. It's
lovely.
A
beautiful.
heart of stone. I think I dated her in high school.
Sure. And what's her name? Amethyst.
I wonder if she's healing
or
now.
crystal.
She better not be.
So
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. It's
We
been
feel enlightened just sitting here.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming in. That's Sharon Daffner Bakes from Healing in the Hamptons. And it's great
Thanks
having
to
you,
both of
Sharon.
you.
Thank you so much. Now, I want to, before we go on, I wanted to talk to you about these books because.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm dead now. What? I don't-
Yes.
What are you wishing that on me
Well,
for?
no, but I'm curious because this is something that's really been on my mind. Do you have your affairs in order? Have you thought about
Yes,
death?
Mrs. McCuddy is the brains of the outfit, and so yes, we have done everything. We have one daughter, as people who listen to this know.
Lily?
I will tell you that one of the most disturbing things that my wife and I have both been through, having lost both of our parents, is that you, and I mean this not in a funny way at all, you find out what hoarders your parents are.
Oh, yeah, tell me
and
about
you
it.
have a huge responsibility in a very short period of time to do something with all of that.
Yeah.
And I have probably half dozen friends who in the last year went through that. And it's very, very upsetting.
And you know that I'm one of them. I mean, we have like 4 storage units, and that's why I love the title of this book. Nobody wants your The Art of Decluttering Before You Die.
What we've learned about those storage units is eventually you'll end up on HGTV, and they'll be cutting it open and selling it to that guy going, "It's got the wow factor."
Oh, no. But listen, from death to life, our next guest, Michael Kilcoyne, is a filmmaker, and he has this wonderfully named podcast that he's going to tell us about that he's just started called How to Life.
Yes, we need desperately. You've seen the show so far and probably heard it before.
We don't know how to
we need
life.
the how-to badly. So what is the definition of what how to life is and what you're trying to do for people?
Well, first of all, I actually made an estate plan. I'll answer that, but I made an estate plan a couple of years ago because
You're a kid.
I know.
You're a baby.
I'm 34. Yeah. But I was, because this is a thing that I constantly reflect, not on like death, but sort of like that idea of like, okay, life is short.
Yeah.
It can go, like you can go at any point.
Yeah.
So how am I doing what I say I want to be doing? And oftentimes the answer to that is no.
Right.
And so like, and that kind of ties into how to life. It basically came from this idea of like, well, I was in a stage in my life where I had, inherited a chunk of money, and then I invested it like semi-wisely, and then I had more money, and then but I had no purpose because I wasn't really like doing,
What you wanted. You weren't following your passion.
You are perfect for the Hamptons.
Perfect. Thank you. Let me tell you.
Welcome home, brother.
Yeah. But like, that's hilarious. But but like, so I had always, since I was a kid, I'd always wanted to make movies. And at some point I was like, well, the only way to do that is to just start start making them. Right. So I took, like bits and pieces here and there and and then eventually that ended up being all my money. But that's neither here nor there. And
And where did the idea of How to Life come from?
well, I think I credit that to like the name to my producers, Anya and Jess. They run a company called Sidecar, and they were basically like, you are creating a sort of model for yourself on
Because nobody else will.
right, because nobody else will on like how to be an adult.
Right.
And because I know,
There are just more and more elements of your program that I need to be a part of.
sure.
Totally.
Well,
Being adult
Well, you
would
know
be-
what's funny?
that makes me feel great. Actually, that makes me feel really good.
I
yeah.
woke up this morning and there's like I was thinking about regrets because I think about death and regrets, and you know me well enough now. That's
No
that's like a party. That's like a party day for me. But I thought about something I had said to my daughter Georgia, which I'm not going to go into here, but it was something that I really regret saying to her, and she remembers it as well. And I realized, oh my God, I said that to her when I was 37 years old and she was 12. And I'm like, I'm 60 now. It happens really quick. So it's like I can almost forgive myself because I was in my 30s.
But she
I
was
didn't
carrying
know.
that. She told you, oh, by the way, when I was 12, do you remember saying blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah?
yeah. No, I mean, she didn't say it to me today. I mean, I have said so many times that I'm very apologetic for saying this thing to her and bringing her into my own crazy head at that moment. But now looking back, she's 35. Do you know what I mean? And I was 37. So, and she's still a baby to me. You're still a baby to me, because I'm 60. So it's like, wow, it just goes so fast. And
I'm
we
like
just
an evil
cannot,
brother to you.
You are my evil brother. That is the best. I'm going to get you a
Okay,
T-shirt
but enough
that
about
says
us.
that.
Mike,
Enough about us. So
The filmmaking aspect of what you brought to this project, is that reflected now? Are you still making films? And do you think about this purpose of getting people put together better or assembled better in the how-to?
That's a great idea.
What the
Are you
podcast is
reassembling
doing?
people? That's such a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah, I mean, so a big part of the reason why I wanted to develop this was really because, living out here can be really isolating, and I didn't have much of a community, and certainly an artistic community. So I was like, what's a great way to do that? Well, I mean, there's probably much easier ways to do it, but, that's sort of always been my approach, is like, I want to go like straight to the source and learn all about people. And so that's sort of where the interview side of things, came from.
Well, I want to ask you. So I know that you've done some little clips and so on for How to Life, and about dating, relationships, all that kind of stuff. So what are some of the what do you want someone to take away from seeing or listening to the podcast to How to Life?
What's a how-to life lesson?
Yeah, what is a how-to life lesson? What are some of the lessons you either have coming up or that you've already filmed?
Yeah. Well, so a lot of the conversations I've had have been just very selfishly being like, okay, I want to learn how to build a community out here. So, I talked to like Andrea Grover.
Yeah, from Guildhall.
Yeah, Guildhall. Or, learning about how to be a prolific artist. So I talked to my friend Mark, or, so like a lot of the personal lessons are just these sort of things that I'm navigating myself, which is like, how do you build a community?
So this is actually, so it's for you to learn, and we can all learn along with you. So there's not an
By the way,
extra.
By the way, your prolific artist friend Mark was listening and going, he didn't say my last name.
Seidenfeld.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go.
And I believe I'm going to be a guest on your podcast. Is that
Yes.
true?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah.
Wow. I like
I
Bill
mean-
McCuddy is like, wow. Like Bridget has
I mean,
things
if
to
we could do
teach us?
both of you guys at the same time, just
I'm
bang
just
it
curious,
out.
I'm just curious
No,
who
he gets
canceled
us.
on you.
You're such a dick.
Thank you.
You're like the ultimate troll. You're just like, oh, kind compliment. Not this time.
I guess 2024 isn't my year of kinder, Bill.
Oh, gosh. No, I guess not. You're going to have to dial that one back. Thanks a lot, buddy.
So how many of these podcasts have you done, and what are the...
So I've done.
Is it on Apple and Spotify?
Not yet. So it's well, I guess by the time this comes out, it should be.
Okay.
So I've done 4 interviews, around this area, because I like to just go to where people are and kind of film them like in their element. So like for you guys, I would just probably film you.
Oh,
here,
see, if you
honestly.
do just me, you're going to have to come to Mauritius.
Yeah, well,
I know you
Well,
don't. I'm kidding. You don't have to come to
I mean, I'll travel, but yeah, and so done 4 of them.
He's got a day to kill.
Thanks a lot.
Like a whole week.
But but you were doing film before this.
Yeah.
What are some of
the other film projects?
Yeah, the other film projects.
Yeah. So the interview series is sort of like an offshoot of the documentary, which is also called How to Life.
Mm-hmm.
Really original. And
No, you're on brand.
yeah. I'm just gonna make everything How to Life.
There you go.
So and that is being edited by this editor, Gary Knight, who's worked on music videos for like Madonna and Bjork and all these like big artists. And so
that's not out yet, but
that's not out yet. Yeah. That's got a whole thing.
Maybe the Hamptons Film Festival.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Get into, or the summer
Perhaps.
docs.
Yes.
I'm
that.
taken
Yes.
with something that's sort of like what you're doing. The screenwriter Bill Collage, who lives out here part time of the year, does a thing for the Sag Harbor folks.
We've had him on this show. We had him on this show.
Right. But they do Sag Harbor stories, and they run them at the Sag Harbor Theater before the movie, and they're great. I mean, it's a little slice of of East End life and really good stories. So I applaud anything that helps get the word out, and as you said, helps integrate you into a new area, a new place that you didn't live, 15 or 20 years ago, and to meet the people around you who are creative. Now, don't go by us.
Yes. No, but this is all what we've been talking about. We've talked about it with Sharon. We're talking about it with you. The kind of like sparking creativity. This show is starting over, and it sounds like that's what you did. You kind of started over with this. So you seem so unsure of yourself, Mike.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
I'm in this stage where I'm sort of like in it.
Yeah.
And when you're like in the stuff, it's very difficult. But like my goal, I mean, the part of the reason why I'm doing a lot of this stuff is because. And I assume that's because we're out of time, but perfect. And is because I know film requires a community. You need some of the sets that we did for Bitten, which is a TV pilot that we shot, we had like 40 or 50 people on set. So it's a lot. You need like a lot of support and help. And so my logic is like I kind of have to like throw myself into it, even though it's not. I'm very kind of like introverted. I like sitting at home and reading and playing video games and the nerdy stuff.
That sounds great.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm really cool and I do stuff.
What's the day job? What's making this all possible? And hopefully the podcast and maybe the movie will monetize. But
so I make I basically do videos for clients. So like advertising.
Like sizzle reel things?
Yeah. So I've been working with clients like I'm working with like Taylor Barton and GE on GE Smith on a little like mini doc, and then I'm working with like the Jewish Center on like a series of little like fun vignettes and TikTok videos and stuff. So stuff like that. Just
Do you agree with me? Because I was talking about this.
Just agree with
Just
him.
say yes. No.
Just
say no.
The one thing
now.
that has changed filmmaking at all levels is the drone. The drone now allows the shots that would have cost. Remember the old SCTV where Johnny LaRue had the crane shot, and they'd yell, "No, it's too expensive to have the crane."
Right.
Now, the drone shot is now ubiquitous in everything.
It's actually overused, I think.
I think it's a good tool. I honestly I think things like the smartphone have been more impactful because
everybody can be a filmmaker.
Yeah,
Everybody
because all of a sudden,
right?
if you just like put a thing, then you can start dancing, and then
Is that good or is that bad for you as a professional filmmaker?
It's great. Like I encourage like creativity of all kinds, and that's how I got into it. Like I got into it because I was literally like I had an event. I was hosting this Planned Parenthood fundraiser thing, and I just started sending people videos. I was just like, hey, what's up?
Best phone for shooting videos.
Probably the iPhone. Yeah.
Best post-production app or software.
I like Final Cut Pro, but a lot of people use Premiere. Yeah.
Premiere is another one.
Premiere, yeah.
What's the user-friendly easiest one?
Final Cut Pro. I mean, even iMovie.
You're making him give away all his secrets.
No, I want people listening because we said everybody can now in 2024 be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
Do you have any resolutions or intentions for 2024, Mike?
Oh, he brought notes.
Oh my gosh!
That's good.
Better hurry up. You only have like a minute.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
So, okay,
TikTok.
be the type of person who is stretching myself creatively and always producing cool content.
Oh, great.
Become the type of person who's taking care of myself physically and pushing myself, and be the type of person who prioritizes his financial health and is always seeking new ways of making.
Well, I have challenging news for you. 9% of those will probably come true, and the other 81%.
That's fine.
According to statistics. Hey, thank you for joining us.
Mike
Thank you.
Kilcoyne. If
Is there
people
a
want to,
website?
do you have a website?
MikeKilcoyne.com, yeah.
So it's MikeKilcoyne.com. It's been great to have you on. Thanks for
you.
joining
Thank
us,
you.
and I'm sure I'll see you more in
Little
2024.
little end movie credit music for him. So the film, there we go. Thanks,
Jim Turner.
We want to introduce a new informal segment from one of our sponsors. This month at Canoe Place, as part of their Front Row series, which I've had the pleasure of moderating on a number of times. Okay, once, but one is a number. Every month they are going to be doing something called Cup of Joe with Joanne Hyman. She's perfect for a new you in 2024 or reinventing yourself. She works with people as a kind of life coach. Complimentary wine is served, which is always good. Learn more at canoeplace.com. Inns and cottages since
1697. That's a long time.
Hey, in 2024, we've got a lot of movies coming out that I am not looking forward to, and I will just go through the list quickly. It is the year of the Xerox machine, as
Sure
has
is.
always been happening before. Dune 2, Bad Boys 4, Despicable Me 4, Deadpool 3, Beetlejuice 2. This is sad. Beetlejuice 2, because I loved the first one.
Don't say it 3 times. We don't want a Beetlejuice 3.
Coming back with Michael Keaton. He doesn't need that money. The Joker is having
But last year
a
they
due.
did Indiana Jones. I mean, he's like 1,000 years old. I mean, come on. They're doing all of these crazy
Terrifier 3, Venom 3, Wicked Part 1, which is the origin story of Wicked, which is basically the
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, thank
Hello.
you.
Do I need to put money in my name drop jar? I just said Wizard of Oz.
A new Karate Kid, another Lord of the Rings, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Quickly, 3 movies I am looking forward to.
Yes.
The Fall Guy with Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt about a stuntman.
Wait a minute. Wasn't that Lee Majors or someone
Yeah,
like
but
that? Oh my God.
this is
I'm
going to be
old.
better.
Okay.
Whatever they're calling the next Mission Impossible, the other half of the thing where I guess he's going to.
I've never seen one, so you're
Right.
talking to you're not talking to the
I need a
converted.
new co-host.
I
And
know you do.
Gladiator 2. I know this is sacrilege to
Oh,
say
no, I'd be
but
excited to
that
see
it
that.
guy, Paul Mescal, who was
Yeah.
in a bunch of movies last year,
Uh-huh.
and Ridley Scott's back as the director. All of
sounds
this is leading us to our final guest.
Oh
Our
my
big-
goodness. Yes, we have an
The
amazing
big get.
we have Oprah.
Okay, so many of you have already seen The Color Purple. It opened on Christmas Day. I am wearing that color in honor of that. I'm a
Barney
member of
McCuddy.
something called the Critics' Choice Association.
I know you are.
And there's about 400 of us, but around a small number of us were invited to a virtual press conference with her, and actually the whole cast. But my question was about what it means to remake this film. And apropos of our
Starting
over, what this new version will mean to a new generation. Here's Oprah.
Well, I cannot even express it. And we keep saying, look what God has done. For those of you who haven't seen the film and heard the soundtrack, that's the refrain in the theme, The Color Purple. Look what God has done. Celie sings that in the final scene when her family returns. And I have lived a surrendered life.
Wow.
And that surrendered life started to happen because of The Color Purple. I never wanted anything more in my life than that. And when I learned to surrender and got that role, it was such a defining moment. It was just so clear that the moment I surrendered it is when I got the call from Steven Spielberg, that I allowed that to lead me through the rest of my life. And so, first of all, never wanted anything as badly, because I always, from The Color Purple, learned to surrender it. And even as Taraji was speaking, I was thinking about the 118 days of the strike. And how I knew that for me, The Color Purple was such a life-changing, life-altering moment. It just changed the trajectory of everything for me, because after that came the Oprah show and all that, but it was led by The Color Purple. And I know that this is a divinely touched, graced, inspired, embraced project. That it is literally written by Alice Walker, who came as one, but speaks for the 10,000.
Yes.
And so I have always known that it was a blessed project. And so during those 118 days, I was praying for this moment to get to see this team, these beautiful women, be able to be in the world to express what this film means to us.
Yes.
And I was just at one point just said, God, you know what needs to happen. You know what needs to happen. Because what I really truly believe is that the Color Purple moment happening now, as the world is just everything that it is,
Yes.
the healing and the joy that's going to come from the screens on Christmas Day, and that people will walk away feeling some uplift, feeling filled, feeling inspired, feeling hopeful, feeling a sense of forgiveness. I think it's going to crack a lot of people open in places that they didn't even realize.
Yes.
And so it's the ultimate in full circle moment. It's the ultimate in what art can do when done well, when inspired by a divine hand, and that divine hand has inspired everybody who's participating. So it actually does not get better than this.
Wow.
We feel the triumph. Every one of us who's been a part of it feels triumphant in being able to be a part of the experience. And now we feel the victory that's going to be released to everybody who gets to see it.
Amazing.
That's what we
Thanks to the
Wow.
folks at the Critics' Choice Association. As I said, that was a very small, intimate kind of interview, and I was very fortunate to be able to get to ask a question that we got 3.5 minutes out of.
Yeah, no kidding. That was
got a
good.
lot of
Three-
Oprah Winfrey.
3.5 minutes. We didn't have to do these ridiculous bumpers
I
you have
got-
here. What else do we have?
I got her to cry a little.
That's amazing. I'm so impressed. You get me to cry every month. You don't think that's a great thing? I leave
Hey,
her
listen,
crying
in
all
all
the time.
seriousness, I
Yeah.
could not do this show without you, but I would love to try. No, I'm kidding. No, I could not. For 2024, I am
Yes.
going to be a little nicer.
Oh yeah, right.
It's going
No,
to take a
please
few
don't.
months.
Please
but-
don't.
but,
I need my
I love
spirited
sitting
Bill.
next to,
Yeah, me
what did
too.
Oprah call it? The divine hand?
The
or
divine hand
yeah.
of God
You've
coming
got,
down. Thanks.
these are my divine hands, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
attached to Bridget LeRoy.
Oh, you're
and
so sweet. Thank you, Bill. I
I have
will-
already
expect-
broken my resolution, which was I wasn't going to be as nice to you.
Well, that was a secret one. No, well, I'm glad you broke that. We've had a lot of fun together over these past 13 months,
That's
and we're
right.
going forward.
And we will talk about love next month.
Yes, we will.
Because it's February.
It is February. I know it's kind of
It's the
played
shortest
out.
month, so that's the lovingest month. Huh?
Totally. And I want to thank our guests today. We had Jim Turner, as always, with us, Patrick McLaughlin, Sharon Daffner Bakes from Healing in the Hamptons, and Mike Kilcoyne, How to Life.
Yeah, and listen,
And-
we appreciate your listening and
Oprah Winfrey.
and Oprah. And Oprah!
Forgot about Oprah. We love to do that.
who
Oprahoma.
remarkably, if you are listening to this on NPR WLIW, was also wearing purple. What are the odds?
I just can't even imagine.
What are the odds?
I
She's a
know.
living, breathing promo machine.
She is. She's amazing.
Was
and
not
so are
that
you.
impressed with her library. It was a bunch of just
didn't
white
even
books in the
notice.
background
Oh,
of
really?
her.
Well, the stuff
I think
behind
she
us
was-
is, we've got stuff here from like 2 years ago. Anyway,
yeah.
it's been great. Bill, let's turn it over to Jim Turner. and
Yeah,
take
play us out.
For January 2024.
The proceeding has been brought to you by Canoe Place Inn and Cottages. Fine hospitality in Hampton Bays since 1697. More at canoeplace.com.
Baby, don't you want to go back to the same old place, sweet home Southampton shores? Happy New Year. Let's get real low now, baby. I think I heard that whistle blow. Must be Bill McCuddy going out on that southbound train. Let's go. Go, Bridget. Go, Bridget.